Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining. Obviously, we've talked up about this AMA. It's an important one. We've done all we can to bring it to this point here, and I think we're on the edge of something quite incredible. What we can do with our exchange strategy. It's multi-exchange strategy. We're going to kick it off with Weex, and closely followed by MEXC, and Gate IO. There's one thing all three of them need, and that's liquidity in the pools. We have to look strong. We can't go to the party with 20 grand in our pocket because that liquidity pool looks weak. So we're going to talk about that and talk about what it means at Weex. Ian's joining us. We've got community members, Terry and Rick. Sorry, Tom, you're on mute. I think you've got an echo.
Yeah, it's probably Tom. Tom, just mute. Probably you're in two phones, phone and mute, Tom.
It's at the bottom of the screen.
Okay,
Tom,
I muted him.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks. Yeah, we've got community supporters, early investors, Terry and Rick here. We've got our Francophone community and trading arm, Cedric and Jose. Obviously, good self, Umberto and Ian. Ian, can you just open up with the relationship and the special nature of that relationship that we have with Weex and how that came about?
I think Ian stepped out for a second, so let's give him a few minutes. Oh,
no,
yeah.
I think he's here.
Sorry, I was just having trouble with my mic. Good morning, everyone. How many do we have on today?
So far, our 44 live, but it's coming up.
Okay, awesome. What a good-looking group we've got here today. Some of the early investors and co-founders and corporate finance people, trading, community management. It's awesome to have such a great panel with us today. And I'll just start by saying that as a person that had the privilege of being part of this community from the early days, that it's so nice to have many of our stalwart, loyal contributors with us here today on the panel. And, I made a pretty bold public announcement to the community almost a year ago that the future of LOD began on October the 17th. And I think that it would be hard to miss many of the technical developments and trading developments that LOD has managed to achieve in the last 10 or 11 months. And it's going to continue. We, as a community and as a technical team, have got our hands on some technology that is truly groundbreaking. We do believe that LOD will continue to define itself as the preeminent and de facto DeFi silver and gold yield leader in the marketplace, and that the community will begin to realize on the power of what the LOD token protocol and the infrastructure that's behind it can do for the world at large. And so, as many of you know, it is the mandate and the quest of the community to restore silver and gold to the people and by the people. And that has largely been accomplished. All of the technical infrastructure that's required to accomplish that is now in place. So the push that the community is engaged in now is to bring more in the way of liquidity and to expand the user base. And it's not a magic trick. We just haven't been able as a technical team to be able to accomplish the original mandate, which was a 2-token system, and then gold was later added, that would circulate within the framework of a protocol in using decentralized mechanisms and networks to accomplish a monetary system that would be powered by the people for the people. If there would be 30 projects in the world that are doing tokenized gold at this time, one of the numbers we heard a year ago was that there was 17, but let's just call it 30. I believe that after 7 years, LOD will emerge in the top 5. And I believe that what we're about to announce next quarter will put LOD in the top 3 of contenders. And so it really is significant what you have contributed to. And no one's going to apologize for the 7 years that it took, for several downturns in precious metals and COVID and downturns in crypto. It just is what it is. And so we're getting into the future. We're unapologetic, we're bold, and we're going to be aggressive like you've never seen before, because this is the opportunity. And you could say that, reflecting back, that the world wasn't ready for digital gold, but they certainly are now. And what we're hearing from the industry is that the pathway for the large investment houses to enter into crypto has been well defined in this last year, and that the opportunity for them to enter the market and to service their customer needs, and you could say the customers worldwide do not want to miss the digital age, the digital era. The customers and investors want their money deployed in digital assets, and that the real world assets are going to be the place that they start to place value. Tokenized real estate, tokenized commodities, tokenized fiat currencies, which are already seeing tremendous growth. And so commodifying and adding digital finance to silver and gold just makes a lot of sense. And it is the belief of this community that being able to earn yield on your silver and gold as you stack it into the digital framework, and then having the ability to spend it, is a novel idea. And it's an idea that has come of age. And so with that, and now that the technical framework is in place, LOD is pleased to announce that a multi-exchange strategy and trading infrastructure is going to be deployed in this next quarter, that we need to support. The community needs to support this, because nobody wants to languish around at these trading levels. We want to get going and get busy with the work that is at hand and what is in front of us. So promoting the project that you built is what this is all about. And with that, I'll turn it over to Martin, and then I'll jump back in and answer any questions.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. I think the important aspect to get clear here is, yes, we've listed already and we trade, but that is not with what I call corporate support from the exchange. This is different. We had the opportunity. Sorry, Terry, would you mind going on mute if you can, please? It's just getting some background noise. Thanks. We got corporate support. We had a meeting in Toronto, at ETH Toronto, through our SHE relationship, which we will touch on later on. Ian was introduced to Andy Weiner, and he is heading up the Weex exchange. They've got great possibilities of how they're growing their user base, and we have got it in writing from him that we are going to get corporate support. That means it's putting the message out to their 5 million users. That 5 million users does 2 billion a day in trading. That's 2 billion USD per day. We're getting corporate support in their socials, and welcome messages going out on their email. I'd encourage everybody to open an account at Weex. No deposit is required. Open an account to see what they do in their social media, but what they do on their email and their campaigns and how the exchange runs. It is a network of professional traders. I'll ask Cedric to mention that as a trader himself and how that differentiates itself from other exchanges. But the relationship aspect is the important part. Ian's had 2 face-to-face meetings. There's a 3rd coming up next week. This is going to be pushed, and it's going to be pushed hard. And we want to go to that party, and we want to list. We don't want to list with 10 or 20,000 USDT in the pool. We want to list with 500,000. We need to go back to you guys and get, I don't know what, 300 people with $3,000 each, get 900,000 together to put into the pool. If we get 900,000, we'll open simultaneously on MEXC as well. I think MEXC is 12 million users. It's a larger user base, but the per capita of the Weex user is a lot higher. As you can see, they're at 5 and they're doing 2 billion a day, and that's all verifiable on chain. So that's the point of this call. Ian, is there anything you want to expand on the relationship side? I think it's been going very well with Andy, and we just want to come to the party strong.
Well, the Weex platform is a legacy exchange that was in the network of 15 different exchanges that an ownership group owned, and Andy was one of the persons that was commissioned at MEXC to grow the user base, and he did that successfully from 5 million to 12 million daily users. And because of that success, he was offered an opportunity to select an exchange of his choosing, and the group would put 100 million behind him. And so he chose the Weex platform because he believes that trading in perpetuals and trading in digital assets, real world assets, and the growing ecosystem around Shibarium was a huge opportunity. So he took the Weex property, and he's taken it from 1 million to 5 million users already, and it's growing, and it's a tier 3, and it's a stepping stone for LOD. And so as part of this group, there's a multi-exchange strategy being deployed, which will bring 4 of the tier 2 and tier 3 exchanges to the LOD network. And we just want to utilize the resources that come in from the community to continue to add liquidity. And I think that's just a win-win. So that's the strategy. What's nice about being able to work with an exchange operator that's at the executive level is that we will be able to unlock a lot more in the way of influencers and KOLs, which are key leaders and key opinion leaders in the crypto community. So that's what I think is one of the most exciting things, is that we've got an inside resource that will help to stand up the LOD token infrastructure and bring more in the way of trading liquidity globally, and it's a stepping stone to get us to tier 1 exchanges, which is where the big money is. So it starts here.
Yeah,
it's a great starting point.
Thanks, Ian. Cedric, is there a need to cover any of this in Francais, or are we good, or do you want to comment on the technical aspect of Weex? You're on mute, Cedric.
Yep. Is there some French people inside the HAMA? Est-ce que quelqu'un peut mettre un mot en français s'il y a des francophones dans le HAMA? Ou bien si c'est bon en anglais, c'est bon en anglais. Okay, we will see if there is a question in French after.
Yeah, sure.
So what is very important for us in Weex is to have big pool of liquidity, because if we have a pool like
ouais. Il y a un peu de monde, il y a des gens qui ont répondu. Oui, il y en a.
Ah oui, ok. Donc, I will just speak in French and after we will continue. Donc, en fait, l'intérêt maintenant, ça va être d'aller sur des exchanges et de lancer plusieurs exchanges à la fois. Bien sûr, pour ce faire, il faut qu'on ait des pools de liquidités qui sont suffisamment importantes. Parce qu'en fait, si jamais vous avez des pools de liquidités qui sont de 20 000, ça veut dire que les traders qui sont en face, qui sont des habitués des marchés, vont pouvoir manipuler le prix de votre token, puisque le coût pour manipuler le prix d'une pool à 20 000 n'est pas exagéré, quoi. Et donc, ils vont faire le calcul de dire, bon, si j'alloue, je sais pas, 30 000 euros de capital, ça va être beaucoup plus simple pour manipuler le prix du token et donc flouer le projet. Par contre, si vous avez des pools plus grosses, le coût de la manipulation est beaucoup plus cher. Et si elle est beaucoup plus chère, ça veut dire qu'on aura un prix qui sera beaucoup plus libre dans le marché. Bien sûr, si jamais on a 2 ou 3 exchanges, en augmentant le nombre d'exchanges, on va diminuer la possibilité de manipulation. En tout cas, on va augmenter le coût de cette manipulation. Et en augmentant le coût de cette manipulation, on aura un token qui sera beaucoup plus directionnel et sans doute mieux tradé pour tout le monde, quoi. So the interest by launching multi-exchange is to try to don't have any manipulation inside the token, because if you launch a pool with 20,000 USD for a trader, you need to block approximately the double of the pool, so 30,000 is enough to manipulate the price where you want. So if we make bigger pool, it costs more to manipulate the price. So at one certain point, it's not interesting for the trader to manipulate the price of a token. And if we launch multi-exchange, it's like exponential. Again, you will need to manipulate the price. You will need much more money to do it, because you need to manage on all the exchange the token is to take profit from your manipulation. So the interest of LOD is making big pool to have a better price, a free market inside the LOD token. And like this, we can protect ourselves from manipulating people and all the person who want to make it bad. And it will also permit to people to sell their token, maybe certainly better than actually in Trader Joe.
Cédric,
So what Cedric just shared there, and I just want to summarize this for everyone in just a few short sentences. What we're asking for is your contribution so we can help build a large liquidity pool to prevent manipulation, price manipulation. And so that will allow active participation. It'll provide liquidity and ultimately appreciation in the LOD token price, which everyone wants.
That's the first thing. But the second thing is, if you are a trader with, 2 million in money to trade, you won't go on a pool with 20,000, because it's too much work for nothing in comparison of your capital. So you will prefer to go on bigger one. And if the pool is bigger, people can go inside with bigger money, and all goes bigger. Okay, and that's very important, because in day trading, you can never excess 5% of the exchange money on a day. Okay, because if you exceed this money, you will have a too big impact inside the price during the day, and it's not interesting, because in day trading you just want to be a glass of water inside the sea, and not you don't want to be the sea.
Cédric, je voudrais faire un petit commentaire pour la communauté francophone.
Oui.
Bonsoir à tous. Alors, ce qui est super important, c'est qu'en étant présent sur ces plateformes, on va avoir une visibilité qui va être incroyable. Nous avons l'appui des responsables de la plateforme de Weex, qui veut vraiment appuyer le projet. Il y aura plein d'options par rapport à notre système. Ils veulent intégrer vraiment tout le système de LOD dans cette plateforme. Et en fait, on ne se rend pas compte, mais ça va vraiment donner une visibilité incroyable. Et si on arrive à développer sur plusieurs plateformes, ça va être encore plus. Voilà, on va avoir vraiment une très belle visibilité, et c'est ce qui nous manque. Et voilà, ça va nous faire sortir du bois, et c'est vraiment, vraiment important pour le projet, et c'est un moment super important. Voilà, je voulais appuyer là-dessus. Et voilà, les gens qui ont l'habitude de la crypto savent l'importance que ça a et la puissance qu'il peut y avoir derrière en termes d'utilisateurs. Voilà. Merci beaucoup. Ok, Cédric.
Parfait.
Just
Okay,
sorry. Yeah, Mercy's Jose. Fortunately, over the last couple of days, I've been had more time to talk to Rick and Terry on this, and we've explained this strategy. I'd like to turn the mic over to Rick and then Terry to get their thoughts on this after a more extensive explanation that we've given over the last few days. Rick?
Okay. Glad to be here. Pat, last weekend, I sent a note to Ian and Martin covering some of this, and I'd like to share it with the community, and I feel even more strongly about it after having those conversations with Martin. You know, I got involved in the LOD from David Morgan, as probably many people here did back in December of 17. And that started my wife and I on this journey, as we both have accounts. And we expected LOD, and still do, to be the best speculation investment we ever made. Those of you who get involved in some of these small speculations know that not many of them seem to work out. And also, there's just a positive aspect of this, of doing something to help mankind, returning silver to the monetary system. And over the years, I've had significant interaction with management, both as an investor and as a previous LOD Community Advisory Committee member. So I've had a chance to, all the people you see on the screen, to communicate and talk to them, as well as you know, Grant kind of was the guy that got me into this and got my silver back in January of 18, I think it was. You know, I've had, you know, Dan and Sandra and Paul are often behind the scenes. And what's always kept me involved in this and buying on the P2P exchange and adding to my LOD token balance over the years is the fact that this team has stayed together. And they just wouldn't have done that if this was not, if they didn't have the passion to see it through. And so while there's been some turnover, the existing team has been here from the beginning or shortly thereafter. And we would not be here today having this call except for their commitment. They didn't give up on the project or for the investors. The project surely has had its struggles, right, with technology, regulatory, personnel, banking hurdles. I mean, just one after another. But the team has persevered and fought through these obstacles. It's been tough. We've all had a lot of disappointment and frustration, but they fought through those obstacles to get us to where we are today, a wallet that works, and more to do. And there's more roadmap items yet to put in place from what I can tell. However, I'm sure most of us can agree in the last couple months, there has been just much more positive news than we've seen before. We're not hearing, well, next quarter we're going to do that. Next quarter, it's being done now, and we can actually do it. We're getting liquidity from our tokens. So they did not quit. They didn't give up working with little or no pay over the last couple of years. And for that, I'm thankful that they just, you know, stuck with it, and we owe them, I think, some real appreciation for that, even though we may not be where we want to be. In my opinion, we should all dig deep in our thinking of our investment thesis here and consider why we're still here, and then to help the project fund this week's liquidity pool. And, you know, I would take what Tom and Cedric have shared and kind of take it to another, to an additional level, which is one of the things I communicated last weekend, is that this $3,000, and it can be more, right? It can be 6, 9, 10, whatever you want to contribute. But it's not just for the tokens we receive. So yes, we're getting these tokens at an effective rate of 12.8 cents. But more importantly, what I see from our investment thesis standpoint is the value we're going to derive the leverage that it's going to give all of our tokens that we currently own. So to the degree that this exchange works, and we have no reason to believe that it won't at this point, we're going to see a tremendous increase in the value of all our tokens, which will make, for some of us, will make the $3,000 immaterial. So it's a great leverage play. So with that, I'll turn it over to Terry Munoz, who I've had the pleasure of actually meeting in South Carolina at his house before.
Right on. Thank you so much. You know what, Rick outlined the lion's share, being a longtime investor. We both came from the David Morgan camp, and we both got interested. I got fired up enough to actually go fly to Acapulco to meet Ian, and that's where I also met Martin, another serious player. Although Rick has covered quite the gamut of what's going on, I can touch on a few things. In the Telegram feed over the years, liquidity has been a very significant topic. It's been a prevalent topic to speak of. Now is the time, and here's the opportunity for the investors to actually foster and participate in this week's liquidity event. If you can do it, do it. If you can't, continue to support LOD on the Telegram feed. Tell your family and your friends. That's also very significant. You have to take into consideration that even though LOD started out as somewhat of a niche crypto, brand new ideas, to date, even Elon Musk has voiced his support for precious metals backed tokens. Over the years, I've got to see LOD ally themselves with vendors and partners of significance. They just don't partner with anybody that can pronounce cryptocurrency. They're vetted and they're proven over time. LOD's also weathered the crypto winter, which we saw many cryptocurrencies just disappear. Where it would have been very easy for the players to simply walk away and go back to their jobs, and quite a few people that are here, the legacy folks, they actually left positions of significance and importance globally, but they're still here even without being paid. Today, I opened up a Weex account. Took me about 3 to 4 minutes just to set up the security, get my name in there. Haven't done the KYC. That'll probably take a little bit longer. So it's not that difficult. But again, in closing, thanks, Rick, for outlining the lion's share of all this. That now's the time, now's the opportunity that if you have the means to support this liquidity event, which has been a big topic of discussion, now's the time to do it. Support LOD. And if you can't do it, stay in the feed. Tell your family, tell your friends, and get them involved. And that's your opportunity. It's been a privilege. Thank you very much. And give it back to.
Hey, I wanted to add, Martin, I wanted to add one more thing, if I may, is for any number of people, $3,000 is going to be a big deal, but for many, it's not. And so, take a flyer on it. So as Terry said, ask your family and friends or whatever to, hey, take a flyer. The project's largely been de-risked. I mean, we struggled through times that I suspect they were a week or two from folding the tent for any number of reasons, but they haven't, and the project's real now. And so the risk of putting $3,000 in is substantially less than it was 3 months ago. Okay,
yeah.
Take it away.
Thank you, Rick, for all your contribution there, and yourself, Terry. I think that's very important, and we can cover. One thing is, if anybody's not in the Telegram, I'd urge you to join that Telegram. There's the Francophone and English. Can you put the invite links in the chat here to the Telegram, to the English and the Francophone? Obviously, we're putting a lot of information in there, but the strength on our trading in the last number of weeks. Cedric can touch on that. We've had sellers and we've survived those sellers and we've brought the market back. Could you just touch on that for 2 minutes, Cedric, of what we've done over the 150,000 LOD tokens that have hit the market?
Okay, so on the last 2 weeks, we had two sellers which sell one time 72,000, one time 68,000 token in once. So actually, with the liquidity of LOD token, it's very difficult because we cannot absorb in one this kind of order. So the price fall very fast to 3 cents or 4 cents, I don't remember. But what's very impressive, it's the rebounds. After the first one, when they sell 72,000 token, we take 3 days to come back to 14 or 15 cents. And last weekend, when there is also a big order with 68,000 token, I think, it takes less than 12 hours to come back at 14 cents. So there is big buyers inside the market. They try to have the opportunity to make it. But if there is some weak ends which drop the token like this, you need to know that there is big one which are waiting for your token.
And I mean, effectively, we're doing this on a shoestring. Okay, we're doing it with tens of thousands of dollars, not hundreds of thousands. If you give us a chance to do it with hundreds of thousands, we're going to take this thing to $1. $1, that's $10 pre-split. Everybody's making a ton of money on that. That's a lot of return for everybody. And that's what's going to happen. Or the other option is we don't do this and we just languish around being volunteers for another year at 15 to 20 cents. So we've got it right here, right now to do. We can't, I can't hold off Weex and MXC where they're all talking to us in channels, they're excited. And then I'm going to show up and empty my pockets and I've got a couple of buttons and $10 in my pocket. It's not a good look. So we need to get it done. That's where we're at.
And if I can complete something, sorry.
Sure, please say.
Okay, so we are all in the vesting time actually. So every month there is token coming in the market. Actually, I see approximately between 8 and 9 people selling token every 20 of the months or close to the 20 of the months. So with a bigger liquidity, this guy could sell better and we could have less volatility inside the token, and the rise of the token will be much more stable and continuous.
Excellent, thank you. Tom, anything to add there for your people?
Yeah, I'm just listening, and I just want to thank Rick and my buddy Terry for being on the call, and everyone else for being here. And it's I appreciate the passion and the continued excitement from you guys. And we're passionate, we're excited about what we're doing at LOD, and we're not giving up, and we're moving forward. And we see the opportunity, we see the potential, and we see that the interest that we're getting still from the community and worldwide for what we're bringing to the market. And I believe, and from what I've seen, what our competitors are doing, we have something very unique in the centralized and decentralized nature of our offering. And what we're just simply asking the community for today is to simply help us out with some liquidity. And that's really it. Just help us grow this Weex trading mechanism so we can all grow and prosper. That's it, Martin. What do you
Martin, can you talk a little bit about what you've already seen come in or calls you've received from people since this went out a week ago?
Yeah, I mean, we've got, as you can see in the chat here, we've had significant interest. There is more interest than the people who have actually mentioned this in the chat. We're off the mark. We've got interest from about 30 people, and we've got commitments up to just a little over 100,000 equivalent of USD. Its metals are moving through the system. Obviously, they've got to be shipped and such like. We'd like to get it to 900,000. We're just a little bit over 100,000. We want to get it to 900,000. That would allow us to do Weex, and we could do MXEC as well. And then through that trading process, then we would gather momentum and get onto Gate.io. And that's our multi-exchange program for the first opener. Then we move into tier 2 exchange. Well, there are tier 2 exchanges, MXEC and Gate.io are tier 2. And then the next stage, hopefully sooner than later, into 2025, we'd be looking at tier 1 exchanges. But everything's built. This is not going on development or technical build. It's all there. This is going to fuel, and that fuel is liquidity in these pools, and we trade. And the trading aspect, we've got one of the finest people heading that up for us and looking at that and advising us on it. It's a different world in the crypto trading, and it's all to play for. And we have the corporate support. MexEC, there's contacts there through our people at Weex. And so we're going to get support there corporately in their channels and pushing this out. So it's basically all to play for. We're here. It's 4th and inches, guys. This is it. This is what we need to push forward.
And Martin, I want to announce that for all of you guys that did not receive an email with the invitation to join the Weex campaign, I pasted the link here in the comments. It's right there. You can just copy and paste and put it in your browser, or dig into your emails. In your emails, you probably receive one. The latest one says "Strength in Numbers, Strength in Community." That's the title of the email, and that's the one that has this direct link access to accomplish. Also, I want to say that if persistence is a requirement for success, no other group that I've been part of is being this persistent. So Martin and the group, I think we are in a good path right now. Thank you.
So that link is to the type form that you've put in, yeah?
That's right.
Can you go back? There was a question before you posted that up. I'd like to.
Yeah, I have a question here.
I see that one too.
Right.
Yeah, Cedric, do you want to go for this one?
Yeah. Okay. So what will prevent the investor that did the LOD token dumps to do it on the Weex? It will be not possible at the first time. Why? Because during between 30 and 90 days, the actual LOD token on Avalanche will be locked inside outside Weex. So only people which is buying inside Weex could buy and sell on the Weex exchange. Why we do that? It's to create organic volume inside Weex. And when trader will be use it to trade inside Weex or token, we will open calmly the door to all our token or all the vested token inside the exchange. But we cannot do it immediately because the risk if there is a pump that we all sell directly on Weex and the token will crash. So it's not years, it's only between 30 and 90 days, depending of the organic growth of the trading inside Weex. So it's very important to understand it. We are not locking the token outside links too long or more than its needs, but we need the organic growth in liquidity inside Weex, to permit all the people of the system to sell the token correctly without dumping the token like we had last 2 weeks.
Do you want to do a quick overview of that in French for the community?
OK. Donc, en fait, la question est comment est-ce que, grâce à Weex, on peut empêcher le token de s'effondrer, comme on a eu les 2 dernières semaines, même s'il y a eu des acheteurs. En fait, pendant 30 à 90 jours, tous les tokens qui sont actuellement sur le marché Avalanche ne pourront pas rentrer dans Weex. Okay, parce que simplement, on aimerait bien qu'il y ait une croissance organique de la liquidité dans Weex avant d'ouvrir les portes à tous les tokens qui sont là depuis 7 ans. Alors maintenant, il faut bien se rendre compte qu'on n'est pas là pour bloquer les tokens pendant 6 mois ou 12 mois. On parle vraiment d'une courte période, entre 30 et 90 jours, et on ne les bloquera pas plus que nécessaire. Ça dépendra vraiment de la croissance de la liquidité dans Weex pour qu'on puisse avoir des traders qui viennent supporter le token pendant que certaines personnes voudront vendre ou vendront. Donc, c'est vraiment un moment important et on ne veut pas non plus foutre en l'air toutes les liquidités qu'on va lever maintenant grâce à vous. Et donc, c'est pour protéger en fait tout le système, les tokens, la valeur du token. Donc, il y a vraiment un intérêt et ce sera vraiment monitoré de près par l'équipe LOD.
Thank you. Martin, there's a question.
Sorry, I was on mute. Sorry, just to add to that last point. So anybody buying through this promotion will, from the day of trading, will be held for 30 days. So you will have a premium on, you will be released after 30 days. You will have a premium on before LOD token from other exchanges like Avalanche and Trader Joe are bought into the market. So there is a little incentive there. You will get that premium. So that can be explained in writing. Sorry, is this a question? This is the one you wanted us to address?
Yes, please.
I'll leave it to Cedric again and how that would work. I'm not sure.
All the liquidity, all this promotion is for going to exchange. So for Weex, for Weex liquidity pool, okay, it's not for Weex. We're not paying Weex. It's to make liquidity inside Weex. So our works pool. In a pool, you need half and half USDC and your token. Okay, so the liquidity that people will bring inside the system actually will go to be the USDC part or USDT part inside the pool for Weex. If the amount or the participation of the actual user is enough, we will go also on MEX and maybe on a sort exchange. But all this is not to pay operational, or you will see your money inside the pool. It's not to trade it. It's just to create the pool, to create an environment for people to trade it, for trader, for professional trader to come with big money to go to trade our token. And that's the only goal of this promotion. It's only focused on liquidity of the token and the LOD token principally.
Thank you, Cedric. I think that was important to state.
Is this the next one? Other LOD.
But then, so will this dilute existing LOD3 token holders?
No.
No,
because the circulating supply is limited since the beginning. Okay, just the difference is not 77 millions, it's 770 millions because of the split by 10, but that's never changed since the beginning, this thing.
Cedric?
Yeah, as soon as it clears. Remember, there is a bonus there. We were offering $35 per ounce, and so we equivalated it to a bar, so it was 3,500. So we'll do that same calculation. If you send in a wire, we would do that same bonus calculation, or you send in crypto. On the form that the type form link that Hum put into the chat here, you can see the three options on there. It's bullion, it's crypto, or if you must, we do accept that paper money as well, the fiat money.
Yeah, you can also use AGX or UX, right, Martin? Just
yes, yep, and AGX and UX. That's not on the form, but that can be arranged.
It's not on the form, yeah.
You know, on the AGX, Humberto, that you just mentioned, there's got to be any number of folks on this call, and maybe who aren't watching yet, that have AGX from LPI and SST payouts, or from interest on other things, or purchases they've made over the years. That gold or that silver, as Martin likes to say, is sitting collecting dust in the cellar. I mean, we've got, I've got AGX sitting out on my account. This would be a great place to put it to work. That's
why we looked at the bullion aspect of it. We've had some, obviously, there's some technical analysis that we've had, and obviously people have different technical analysis, but we're hearing that silver could be at the top at 33 and gold could be topping out. It reached 2,700 yesterday, but it's fallen away a bit. But silver could be topped out at 33. So we're giving a bonus on it at 35 currently. And yeah, that's why we put it. So put that silver to work was the narrative. There's a question.
French. Yeah. Jose?
Tant
Oui,
mieux.
voilà, j'ai répondu à... Tu m'entends, Cédric?
Ouais, c'est bon.
As well.
Oui. Voilà, c'est pas la peine de... Enfin, vous pouvez vous inscrire, hein, il n'y a pas de restriction particulière. Vous pouvez vous inscrire sur Weex. Après, c'est pas nécessaire pour les tokens. Tout passera par le portefeuille LOD. Donc, vous pouvez simplement, on mettra les liens pour suivre le jeton quand il sera listé, mais c'est pas une obligation. Pensez aussi que comme il y a d'autres exchanges qui arrivent, ça vous fait inscrire à toutes les plateformes et ça va pas être gérable. Enfin, après, vous pouvez, mais c'est pas une obligation et voilà, c'est pas une obligation. Voilà.
Après, Weex, c'est une bonne plateforme, hein, donc franchement, et vu que ce sera la première, ça vaut quand même la peine de... Alors, ça ne veut pas dire qu'il faut s'inscrire la semaine prochaine, mais en tout cas, si vous participez à la promotion, dans 30 jours, vous pourrez trader vos tokens sur Weex. Enfin, les tokens de la promotion, pas les tokens du vesting. Okay, les tokens du vesting, ça va arriver après. Quoi. Okay, donc, c'est quand même important de le dire. Oui, ça vaut la peine d'ouvrir sur Weex et ça vaut la peine ne fût-ce que d'essayer la plateforme. Quoi, parce qu'elle est bonne. Quoi.
Après la période de blocage pour aider à augmenter les volumes au sein de la plateforme. Donc, ça peut être 30 jours. 60...
Oui, mais non. Sur la promotion, Martin vient de dire c'est 30 jours. Après 30 jours, ils seront, dans le cas de la promotion, ces tokens-là auront une avance par rapport aux autres.
OK. Eh bien, parfait.
Perfect.
Another question there. Martin, will it be easier to get liquidity with arbitrage on AGX and AUX?
Arbitrage is, you can do it. Just follow the market, and if you think the IUX or RGX is too high, you can sell some. If it's too low, you can buy some. Actually, the both pool is very stable, and there is some USDC inside. Right? I think we never have this amount of liquidity inside IUX and RGX pool. So if you think you will buy RGX and IUX very, very cheap, it will not happen actually.
Bring Scott's question up, Scott Lintel.
I am prepared. That one.
Oh, sorry. No, the one here. There was a question from Scott. Could you bring it into the panel? It's only small for me at the side.
Yeah, it's which one, Martin? Because I have a number of. I don't have a question per se. Which one are you talking about?
From Scott Lintel.
Yeah, but there's.
Okay, I'll read it out. Scott's question is: I'm prepared to contribute another 3,000 to this event. However, it would be a huge. Yeah, that's the one. I think is it? Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. However, a huge confidence boost to see. Yeah, I mean, look, Scott. I mean, we've been volunteering for 2 years, but sure, that's a given that we're going to come into this because it's shooting fish in a barrel. We've got exposure. You're saying about the 63 people, that exactly. I think we had 300 to 400 register. What we do is we encourage people to register because by registering, you get a videotape automatically sent to you. So some people in Europe and being it's a Friday can't show up. So we will get this out for 200, 300 or 400 more people. But the point is taken. That's why we have to get this week's thing underway because what that allows us to get exposure to 5 million people. I put the numbers in the channel. I put the numbers in this chat. If we get traction at 0.5%, that's 25,000 people. If they do $500 each, that's $12 million plus. That's why we need the people. And yes, we're fully into this. And another 3,000. What's another 3,000 after 500,000? Who cares? So yeah, that's where we're at. Anthony's question. That's a technical. Ian, how would that work over on Rolex?
Well, we've got the move feature in the LOD wallet, so I think that's where the majority of the community members are holding their Rolex anyways. And Rolex and the Syscoin community, had announced that they're going to be sunsetting the UXTO network. So moving everyone to Syscoin Rolex was the only option. But if in AGX and AUX coins are money, and they're perfectly acceptable to the community to move them into Treasury. So yeah, I would say that we'll talk to the tech team and see if we can enable the move feature to enable them to swap for their Syscoin AG or the Rolex AGX for LOD token.
Thank you.
So Anthony, the answer is yes on that. The answer is yes, and that's Mike. Yes, same with AGX and Rolex, Mike. So the answer is yes.
Next question,
Next question is right there.
Alors, on n'a pas la date pour Mexi. Ça va dépendre de la promotion actuelle, puisque ça va dépendre des fonds et qu'on ne veut pas déforcer la liquidité sur Weex. Donc, ça va vraiment dépendre de comment ça se passe. Mais en tout cas, même si ce n'est pas d'ici la fin de l'année, bien que je pense que ça va l'être, c'est dans le planning. Donc, voilà, dès qu'on a les moyens d'aller sur Mex, parce que Mex, c'est un tier 2, donc c'est un peu plus gros que Weex. Et donc, forcément, ça a un coût qui est supérieur.
Je voudrais que mon téléphone, je pris mon téléphone.
Another one, John Warden.
Yes, we're going ahead with it, but it's like showing up to the ball in a torn pair of jeans and a dirty t-shirt, or we can go in looking good. So how do we want to play this?
There's a question at the end, though, I think was important, Martin, where you said, will we get our investment back?
You get it back through the market. Yeah.
So John, so what Martin's saying is you will get your investment back by selling it into the market.
And you're going to have an advantage because we've got exposure to those 5 million traders, and you're going to have a 30 to 60 day jump on the rest of the people that have LOD token that were bought somewhere else or be invested and released in the other market. So you get a 30-day jump on it. So yeah, you got a good chance. You get your principal back and let the house take the rest of it. And let the house ride. Look, I mean, taking something from 15 to $1, calculated it's around $4 million. So the users, the 12 million bucks, if we get 25,000 people traction, that's 12 million bucks. So three times the rate we need to take it to $1. So you got a good chance of 8 times your money in 30 days, 8x on your money in 30 days.
Umberto, oui, il y a un économiste qui a parlé de LOD sur TV Liberté. Bon, on est en contact, enfin, je suis en contact avec Ludovic Malo. Il y a certaines personnes aussi qui je reconnais qui sont dans le chat et qui sont passées par Ludovic Malo. Alors oui, il fait la promotion parce qu'en fait, il a compris l'importance des métaux précieux, l'importance de se réfugier sur un portefeuille décentralisé. Voilà. Et donc, de lui-même spontané, en effet, il fait la promotion et il met en avant le projet. Et je voulais répondre à une autre question. Encore une fois, non, ce n'est pas nécessaire d'ouvrir un compte sur Weex. Vous pouvez suivre. Et voilà. Après, libre à vous. Si, comme il dit Cédric, si vous voulez trader, vous pouvez. Bon, il n'y a pas d'obligation. Voilà. Allez, Guy.
Dwayne, I don't know what address that is, if it's USDC, USDT, or AVAX, but whichever address is, it's one of our wallet addresses. That value would come in, and then we will convert it and we will place it in the account for you.
I think that's the Treasury wallet.
Is it which asset though?
Multibank. It's USDT, USDC, and AVAX.
Okay.
On Avalanche chain.
On Avalanche.
No, they're on all chain, on Ethereum also, and
Ethereum, yeah.
Avalanche. Yeah. If you participate to the promotion with crypto, the easiest way to do it is send Avalanche, because if it's at USDT or USDC, it's not the same network. So please go for Avalanche. Avalanche is very easy. When we receive your Avalanche token, we immediately convert it in USDC. So the 3000 is there and you will have no problem with that.
Cédric, essaye de le dire en français.
Oui, donc, pardon. Si jamais vous participez à la promotion avec des cryptos, transférez des cryptos. Commencez pas avec l'USDC, l'USDT. Tout le système est sur Avalanche. C'est plus facile. Transférez juste des AVAX. Okay, c'est le plus simple. Et nous, on les convertira immédiatement en dollars sur la bonne chaîne. Comme ça ne vous posera pas de problème. Et on convertit des réceptions. Donc, comme ça, vos $3000 sont validés.
Et s'il y a besoin d'aide, contactez-moi en privé. Je l'ai fait avec plusieurs contributeurs. D'ailleurs, j'ai des rendez-vous. Ce week-end, j'en ai 3 à faire. Voilà, j'ai pas mal de personnes. Et
donc, comme toujours, si vous avez un problème, envoyez un message à José. Il fera un plaisir de vous téléphoner. Il parle un peu beaucoup, mais on s'y fait.
Okay.
So about this one with Scott, Martin, like we have the help desk in support.lo.1, and all the information regarding the implementation of this campaign will be presented there. So every time you want to catch up on what's going on, it will be there. But also
the instructions are in the true form.
Could you repeat that again? Could you repeat that?
Sorry, Humberto. The instructions are in the true form, correct?
Yeah, the instructions are in the true form, and probably what Scott wants to look is an update on how is the process is going to. Okay, so we have Chris 1X says, what wallet will the load be sent to if I send 3,000?
You need clarity on the question. What wallet will the load be sent to if I send? Well, it would come into the one and only lodwallet.com, and it would reflect there in your account. I believe that's the question. Any ideas, guys? What the question is?
Yeah, I think if he give 3,000, where Lode will send him the token, but on your wallet.
Yes.
Yeah, on any Avalanche wallet. Yeah. Network
But
wallet.
the reason, so there's no confusion, the reason why I encourage people to look at Weex and open an account is to receive their information. You don't need to open an account to do this there at Weex, but by opening an account, you will receive their full promotional packages on the whole exchange, meaning that's what we're going to have behind us. So I just want to show you that strength.
And
just a
follow
moment.
the instructions, right? Follow the instructions, Chris, in the form. That's there clearly. You have to indicate what wallet you're sending from, and that's where you're receiving.
Just a moment for José. Il y a Suzanne qui prend ta défense. Il paraît que tu parles pas trop. C'est juste que tu expliques quelque chose de difficile. Mais bon, il parle quand même beaucoup. Hein.
Tu vois, quelqu'un qui me défend. Voilà, j'ai de la chance que c'est public là. Merci Suzanne, merci.
Okay.
How are we looking on questions?
Guess we're done. We don't have any more questions so far. Top of the hour.
Post the true form back in the chat here again, so they can click on it.
We are sending. Did you say, Hum, that there was an issue with somebody's email? They weren't receiving it?
No, just in case people that join here is joining from Twitter or any other initiative that is not necessarily in our database, then they don't have the email, Martin.
I've just got a flash message directly to me from one of our contributors. He's actually signed off on 600 grams of gold, and he wants to see if anybody's going to match it. I don't know if he's going to send you a box of donuts if you do, or I'm waiting for him to come in. But yeah, we just had somebody commit to 600 grams of gold. So if you're in the call, Richard, thank you very much. And I'll talk to you on a direct message later. Thank you.
Martin, some words for Shiba Coin?
Ian and I and our team are on calls with the Sheep guys twice a week now. We had our call Tuesdays and Thursdays. We had a call yesterday. We're expanding this. This is for the administration of how we're putting this project together, getting all the project tracking software in place. We're expanding the team, and the creative comes in on next Tuesday, and we're lifting off here. They have started promoting it internally into their community to do a seed raise for the mean gold. Ian, can you expand on that on that subject of what we're doing with the team, please?
Yeah, sure. This might be, how much time do we have?
A full hour after, so we don't
Okay.
have.
We're on overtime now, so it's overtime Friday.
For overtime Fridays. Okay.
Cédric, est-ce que tu please?
Attends, laisse parler Yann d'abord. Okay.
Okay,
Yann.
Okay. All right. Well, some of the team may have been able to hear this update this morning, but for some of you, this will be news. I think it's fair to say that most of us, because we're so busy, we may be guilty of missing the true network power of what LOD actually is. Many are catching on. This is why the Weex group is so excited about actually working with the LOD protocol. And they really want to make this happen for LOD, because LOD is unique. It's an oracle. It's a gem in the crypto community with respects to the way that it operates in a decentralized framework. The LOD token is so significant, and I'll use an illustration of a wheel with spokes and hubs. But LOD literally is a protocol that is connected to a network of smart contracts, which enables other ambitious groups and other networks to join into the protocol and fork it like you would fork off of another network. And because of that, and the DeFi, the decentralized finance mechanisms, the reward generator, smart contract infrastructure, everything that forks off of the LOD protocol pays directly via the smart contracts and the networks into the reward generator pools. So not only is LOD a decentralized finance protocol that restores silver and gold to the monetary system and opens and democratizes the access globally via multiple networks and multiple exchanges, the access to silver and gold, but everything that happens off of those ecosystems pays into the reward generator smart contract. The users or the holders of LOD tokens are then notified on chain that they have a claim that they can make through their staking wallet and pull a reward off of that ecosystem directly into their LOD wallet in the form of AGX, AUX, USDC, and Avalanche. These are the currencies that work within the reward generator smart contract. The significance of that is massive, because if you think of Ethereum, when you buy an Ethereum, you buy it because you're a speculator, you buy it because you need network gas, and you buy it from Vitalik directly, essentially through the foundation. And you use that as a currency to operate within the Ethereum network. In this case, owning a LOD token will enable you to stake into the system, essentially adding security and helping to prove up the protocol. And by doing that, you earn a service fee that will be scraped off of the ecosystem on a daily basis. And then when the pools top up to a certain point, you as a LOD token holder will be able to self-claim your reward. This is significant because many of you that have been here for the last 7 years have seen that paper drawing that we did in 2016. And in that, there was these gears, and it looked like a machine. And on one side, you had your wholesale silver and gold, and on the other side, you had your retail silver and gold. Well, LOD has been working this last year to add 3 spokes to the protocol. The first spoke is AGX AUX coins, which will be the world's first fully decentralized finance silver and gold tokens that have yield attached to them. So David Morgan said this morning, oh, okay, I finally get it. You can buy AGX coins like you would buy a bar of silver, but that bar of AGX actually makes you yield. And I said, yeah, instead of collecting dust, it's working. Your silver is working for you in a lending, borrowing, decentralized finance staking mechanism. That's what's being launched in the 4th quarter of this year. It's so huge. The Weex guys looked at that and they said, holy cow, like this is the world's first truly decentralized finance, silver and gold.
And the sheep guys also.
And the Sheep guys, they saw it as well. And that's why Shiba wants to power gold dust or micro dust in their ecosystem and have the rewards pay back to a new reward generator token. They are forking, the Shiba community is forking the LOD protocol. And 10% of everything that comes off of that ecosystem is paid through the smart contract infrastructure directly into the RGen, the reward generator. Any of you that own a LOD token and you stake it to power the network, you will earn daily interest or daily income for securing the protocol from the spokes or spurs of revenue that come into the system. That was the original drawing, but we couldn't build it. Nobody could build it until 2020. And so here we are, and it's officially been launched. And what you'll see in the next quarter is not only the RGen launching and going live, which captures all this inflows off of the system, but you'll also see the DeFi, which is a fork of Aave, which is a lending and borrowing protocol. And when you can lend or borrow silver and gold into a decentralized ecosystem, you can create yield. Cedric can maybe spend a couple minutes on the technical capabilities of that, but this is a game changer. So back to the 3 spokes. Spoke number 1, AGX AUX coins as a feeder spur of revenue into the LOD reward generator. Spoke number 2 is the genuine securitization monetization engine, which many of you have seen. And we are negotiating a private partnership with Genuine and the Qatari government at this time with Genuine, because it's a regulated protocol. It will feed revenue into the RGen. And then the third is the Shiba. The Shibarium community is bringing gold dust to their 2 billion users worldwide. That's their goal. So, and there will be other networks that will join in layer 2 that's coming. So the LOD token mechanism, which couldn't be built, is so significant. It is a game changer, but many of us just haven't, we just don't realize how powerful that is. And this is the spirit that's been working in the background with the LOD team and the LOD technical team. And this is why we're still here, because we are determined to build what we originally designed, and it is built. And that's why we're still here, because that is a very powerful thing, and it must be built, and it is being built, and you're all going to benefit from that. And I think Martin is just being conservative at $1, but it would not surprise me to see a $3 to $4 billion market cap load in the years ahead. All other protocols are having $8 and $9 billion market caps. So just hang in there with us and help us to get, you know, the original founders. There was 347 of them, which went on to become about 968. Call it 1,000 contributors. If those 1,000 put one more bar in this system, LOD token would be on a tier 1 Binance exchange by the end of Q1 2025. And the purpose of this call is to inspire the community, but also to regain your trust, because you guys have been in a black hole with the rest of us over this project. And so, you know, I sincerely request that you continue to support this project. And it's been 5 or 6 years since you put your original bar in. And if we can just plead with you or compel you to put one more bar in this thing, all 1,000 of you, you won't believe what will happen with this protocol. It will go from the $200 million market cap we have today to over $1 billion in a whole shot, like lightning. It's very, very powerful. And the traders are standing by to trade in gold yield. And other networks are coming. It's happening.
Yeah. The dollar mark, as I said, takes about 4 million. A weighted average of 206, we can get to $5 with 70 million, and $10 would be 177 million into the market. It sounds a big number, but when you've got that many people and that momentum, it's very doable. That's $100 pre-split LOD token, and it's just right there. We need exposure. That's what we get through MEXC, through Gate.io, and with Weex. So
this Weex thing is really all about, and this is what Andy said, I'm going to help you to get to a tier 1. We'll get you going on Weex. We'll get you going on Gate.io. We'll get you going on L Bank, and then we'll get you going. We're also going to get you going on MEXC. But then once those 4 exchanges are operational and you guys have got your DEXs in place, you will see that the tier 1s and tier 2s will come, and they will just start. They will list you because they want the revenue. And so that's the methodology. That's the approach. We're locking in KOLs. We're bringing more influencers. We're locking into bigger networks than us. The LOD protocol token is a game changer. That's why Shiba wants it. You can do things with gold through the LOD protocol that you could never do before. And Cedric, if you can just explain just a little bit of this from a technical point of view, the significance of what gold DeFi with yield means to the world.
Yep. But it's very easy. If there is no all the people is speaking about decentralization, okay? But if there is no liquidity provider, decentralization doesn't exist, okay? And when you are a liquidity provider, people give you interest because you create the market, because you permit to other people to make exchange for AVAX for USDC, AVAX for any other token, or USDC for any other token. And in that way, the gold, the yielding gold, you can receive also interest because of the trading, because of the fees that other people is paying to make an exchange on the decentralization network, like AVAX, like Ethereum, like Base. In any decentralization, there is liquidity provider which make a lot of money just by propose themselves to help the market to have a order book and all this kind of stuff. I don't know if it's understandable, but I try to make the easiest way to explain it.
Cédric, je voudrais faire un petit récapitulatif un peu pour les Français, si on peut. demande.
Ben, vas-y.
Alors, ce qu'a voulu expliquer tout à l'heure Yann, c'est que ce projet à 3 tokens, en fait, il est unique. Ce projet de récompense en métaux précieux, il est unique. De pouvoir après convertir ces tokens en physique, il est avec un faible montant minimal, il est unique. Je voulais donner des exemples. Par exemple, tout à l'heure, on a parlé de Shiba ou de Weex. Là où il y a eu, où ils ont percuté, c'est la structure juridique, toute la structure de régulation que LOD a mis en place. Et ça a toujours eu un impact assez important. C'est-à-dire qu'à chaque fois, ils ont dit, ah, ok, on est sur un autre level. Et d'où l'importance et le temps que ça a mis pour LOD de construire ça. Et à aujourd'hui, comme le disait bien Yann, ce mouvement de circulation des monnaies, ce moteur automatisé, ça va vraiment, voilà, on va avoir une visibilité et les gens vont voir qu'est-ce que c'est. Et là, c'est ça qui est vraiment encourageant. Et voilà, je voulais expliquer ça un peu dans une synthèse. Si Cédric, tu veux rajouter quelque chose au niveau technique, c'est avec plaisir.
Donc en fait, il va aussi y avoir un produit mais j'en ai parlé dans le forum franco, de taux d'intérêt en or. Ok, et en fait, ça va venir d'où? Ça va venir de la décentralisation. C'est-à-dire que quand vous faites de la décentralisation, forcément, il y a quelqu'un qui amène de la liquidité pour que vous puissiez échanger vos tokens. Et le fait d'amener de la liquidité dans le marché, c'est rémunéré, quoi. Et ça peut être très bien rémunéré en fonction de ce que vous utilisez, quoi. Et donc voilà. J'ai fait en résumé, mais n'hésitez pas à poser des questions si.
Oui, voilà.
Have we come to a natural conclusion, Humberto? I haven't been looking at the questions.
Sorry, guys.
Yes, we are, Mark. That's
Just a couple-
the packing slip. Just answering Mark's question, Mark Dion. That's going to Idaho Almond Vaults. That's on the packing slip. Yeah.
Are we sending the physical silver to Idaho Armor Vaults?
Yes, we are. Yeah, it's on the packing slip. Yeah.
This French, but I don't know if it was answered.
Est-ce que les load cards sont toujours en projet? The question is the load card still in project? Yes. Oui, les load cards sont toujours en projet. Maintenant, là, d'ici la fin de l'année, on focus vraiment sur la liquidité et la carte viendra dans la roadmap comme prévu. Le problème, c'est qu'on a besoin de users, en fait, d'utilisateurs de la carte et que pour l'instant, il n'y a pas assez de personnes consignées pour nous garantir que la carte va pouvoir durer sur suffisamment longtemps. Parce que le problème, c'est que si jamais il y a personne, tout le monde dit oui, je vais avoir la carte, mais que je ne l'utilise pas, la banque va finir par la couper parce que c'est pas rentable pour elle. Donc, c'est toujours dans le projet, ça n'a pas changé, mais il faut vraiment un bon développement ou suffisamment de personnes qui demandent à pouvoir l'utiliser que pour qu'on la mette en cours. Et je vois qu'Yann a posté genuine.com, c'est Genuine en fait qui va s'occuper de la carte.
Oui.
Donc, juste 2 secondes. Can I make an explication between LOD and Genuine to the French community, and maybe you can do it to the English?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Donc, ok. En fait, LOD, et je pense qu'il n'y a pas beaucoup de gens qui sont au courant, mais LOD a été splitté en 2 entités. Donc, il y a LOD, qui est le projet décentralisé LOD, et il y a le projet Genuine. Genuine, en fait, c'est la partie de LOD qui s'adresse aux institutionnels. Pourquoi? Parce que le problème qu'on a eu au départ, c'est que les institutionnels étaient très intéressés par LOD, mais il y avait un problème de réglementation. Parce que quand vous êtes une banque, quand vous êtes un fonds d'investissement et tout, vous ne pouvez pas faire ce que vous voulez. Et la décentralisation, pour eux, ça ne marche pas, quoi. Parce que c'est pas assez traçable, c'est pas assez transparent et tout ça. Et donc, c'est suite à ça que l'autre, et attention, Genuine, c'est déjà créé, c'est déjà fait, tout est en place et tout ça. On n'arrive pas, on lance pas quelque chose de nouveau. Tout est en place, on y travaille depuis 1 an et demi. Et en fait, cette partie Genuine est spécifique pour les banques, pour les fonds d'investissement, pour en fait les clients institutionnels. Et franchement, il y a beaucoup de demandes, quoi.
Notez bien le nom genuine.com.
Oui. Et vous pouvez aller voir le site, genuine.com. Voilà. Et donc, en fait, le Genuine, c'est la partie institutionnelle de l'autre, quoi. Et donc, je sais qu'il y a plein de gens qui vont apprendre cette news ce soir, et je pense que c'est vraiment une news importante, qu'on n'en a pas parlé avant parce que on ne voulait pas mélanger les choses, que c'est déjà un système qui est complexe et que, donc voilà. Mais donc, oui, les LOD tokens touchent des bénéfices de la part de Genuine aussi, quoi. Donc, dès que le business va commencer à bien tourner, et il tourne déjà, on a déjà beaucoup de demandes institutionnelles, les tokens LOD seront rétribués grâce aussi à Genuine, quoi.
Je vais partager dans le groupe les liens et on expliquera un petit peu mieux. Mais il y a 3 liens dans le site à bien regarder.
Oui, mais vous allez voir, vous allez comprendre, c'est vraiment toute la partie institutionnelle, tout ce qui est carte, carte Visa, carte et tout, c'est Genuine qui s'en occupe.
Le bullion
Vault, le bullion Vault aussi, toute la structure.
Toute la structure, voilà.
Toute la structure régulée, mais vraiment pointue, c'est Genuine qui s'en occupe. L'autre, c'est la partie décentralisée du système.
Et croyez-nous, croyez-nous, ça nous a démangé plusieurs fois de le partager. C'était quelque chose qu'on voulait mettre, mais on ne pouvait pas.
C'est le moment, c'est maintenant. Yann, we let you explain Genuine to all the English guy because I just do it for the French one.
Okay, great. Many of the operations that were under consideration for LOD as a community became problematic because of regulation. And going back to the original spirit of the LOD ecosystem, which is mandated to restore using decentralized networks and protocols, restore silver and gold to the people, democratizing the access or opening access globally to permissionless, immutable access to silver and gold as a currency or as money, genuine money, is the mandate. Also, removing the ownership structure so that no one person could ever own the LOD protocol was another ambition, as many of you will recall. But how do you do that in a regulated world? Well, the only way that you can do that is remove the stakeholders, remove the corporate enterprises, and rely entirely on blockchain protocols that are decentralized. And in order for silver to become money, it needs to work like money. It needs to settle instantly. It needs to be low cost to transmit. The access to it needs to be open globally so that you can permissionlessly gain access to it. And so many of the tripping points around the project, from the regulatory or corporate structure, became very, very problematic. And it was determined that the best way to provide services to the LOD token protocol and the community at large would be to work in a dual path to separate the regulated from the sort of what we determined to be unregulated or non-regulated or decentralized operations. And so because LOD Switzerland kept tripping over all of this stuff, it was decided that a new regulated framework should be stood up to take over those responsibilities. And that's where the genuine silver and gold securitization system was developed. And so for any of you that are curious about what it is, feel free to go to genuine.com. Genuine is a Web3 next level regulated securitization and monetization framework. This is where the real world will meet the blockchain. And I think if you take a few minutes to check that out, you'll see that it's very, very sexy. The LOD community is the largest stakeholder in the equity structure of Genuine Metals and Genuine Digital. And a significant portion of all of the inflows off of those regulated activities, which includes the securitization of silver and gold, the distribution of GLD, SLV in a regulated framework, the card program, and the merchant tools will pay into the RGen. And there will be other projects that likely will come along under this structure that will pay rewards and dividends and interest into the RGen as well, making a clear path for LOD token to become the behemoth that it is. It's a monster. And you're going to see that. But because of the last couple of years, the downturns in the markets and et cetera, all the original resources were deployed to get here and need to fill the tank up again. And with your support and the thousands of others that are coming and the new liquidity structure, it's this is the time. This is it. This is the moment where we cross the Rubicon and we go into the future.
Yeah. Yeah, well said, Ian. I think we'll put another announcement out to the community tonight, and it will be a bit more forthright. It will reference this, but it's clear where we're at, and it's clear what we need to move forward. You've got two choices. We can creep forward over the next year, or we can do it in the next 3 months. That's where we're at.
Can we make this video available to everybody, or to people who signed up to give it to friends?
That's automatic, Rick. That's why we got as many as we did sign up, but not everybody can watch live. But if you sign up, you get a copy sent to you automatically.
But if you didn't sign up, like people we know that we might want to, say, hey,
I can get you a copy. We can put it into the Umberto. I think Umberto's left. Umberto can get a copy made for you, Rick. If there's nothing else, I think we can. Umberto's returned. Umberto, are we going to wrap this up? I was just saying you can get a copy. You can get a copy of the video put into Vimeo or
yeah. What follows next is anybody that has the RSVP to this AMA, they can go back to the RSVP link and watch the video again. However, we always put it in YouTube as well, Martin, and we will do that as soon as I download it and repurpose it. Okay.
Okay. Very good. I'd like to thank Rick and Terry for coming on, especially taking time out of their day. Thanks to Cedric and Jose. Thank you, Tom. Thanks, Thanks, Ian.
Yeah, thank you, Bob.
It's clear what we need to do. So let's get it done.
Take care, guys.
It's happening. Okay, bye, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye to all.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Cedric.